So the same year Methuselah died, the flood came. So this meant that all during the time that Noah was building the ark, Methuselah was still alive. Destruction was on its way, but we're waiting on Methuselah. All right. In chapter number 6, verse number 17 through 22, it says, "And behold, even I do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die." He says, "But with thee I will establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife and thy son's wife with thee." Now, this is the first promise that God is making to Noah. Now, the first thing he says is that the flood is going to happen. Then he says, "I'm going to establish my covenant with you." And the first thing that I want you to do is to come into the ark. You, your wife, your sons, and your son's wife. All 8 people are going to come into the ark. And at verse number 19, he says, "And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female, of fowl and after their kind, and cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after its kind. 2 of every sort shall come unto thee, to keep them alive." Now, this is what God is establishing. He's establishing with Noah that I am going to spare you from this flood. That's the first covenant. I'm going to spare you from this judgment, because the judgment is coming and I am going to spare you. All right. And when we get to chapter number 8, verses 21 and 22, it says, "And the Lord smelled a sweet savor, and the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease." So now he's opening up this covenant and he says, I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to curse the earth. From the time of Adam to the end of the time of Noah, the curse that God put on the earth was still there. It was after the flood that God removes the curse. So Adam lived on the earth, but he never got to see the full strength of the earth. Now that curse is being removed with Noah. Then he says, "And as long as the earth remaineth, there shall be seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night. These things shall not cease." So as long as the earth is here, there's going to be a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. There is going to be a cold season and there is going to be a summer season. There's going to be summer and winter. Day and night shall not cease. These are the covenants that God is making through Noah, but he's making them to all men. All right, let's go further. In Genesis chapter number 9, verses 1 through 7, he says, "And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth." Now I want you to understand, this is the same thing that he said to Adam and Eve. Multiply and replenish the earth. So the same command that he gave them, he's now giving to Noah and his sons. And so he told them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. He says, and the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hands are they delivered. So I want you to understand, now he creates natural fear in man, in all the animals, everything in wildlife, every domesticated animal has a natural respect for man. I was watching a special, and the lions had just killed their prey. And so a group of men walked up on the lions, and the lions got up and ran away from the food. The men took the portion that they wanted, put it on one man's shoulder, and walked away. Because God has put the dread of man in every animal. Then he says in verse 3, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. Now here is where man's appetite has been changed. Not only was he to eat the herb of the field, but now he is also able to eat animals. This is where the covenant is established. It is established with Noah. You may eat the animals and the herb of the field. So he continues to push them. He says, and surely your blood and your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man, and at the hand of every man's hand, brother, will I require the life of a man. So if an animal kills a man, God requires his life. If a man kills a man, God requires his life. This is where these things are established. These things are established all the way back to Noah. This is why there is executions form when you commit murder. That's why we have a death penalty, because the command that was given to Noah. And so he's requiring the death of every man. At verse number 6, he says, whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man. So again, he's saying, if a man commits murder, it's assigned to men to execute him. All right? It's assigned to him to execute men. Then he says, and you be fruitful and multiply and bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply therein. So again, he is telling them to multiply and replenish the earth. And so these are the things that were established in the Noahic Covenant. He continues, chapter number 9, verse number 9 through 17. He says, And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl and of the cattle and of the beasts of the earth with you, for all that goeth out of the ark, to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by waters of flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. So now God has promised not to destroy the earth with water. The promise is made to man, and it's made to the animals. Not just to man, it was even made to the animals. So this is part of the Noahic Covenant. All right, let's continue. Verse number 12. He says, and God said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I will set my bow in the clouds, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. So God now gives them the sign of the rainbow. The rainbow is a reminder to God, and it is a reminder to man that God is not going to judge the earth with water again. It's made to man and to the animals. So this is the covenant being established. He continues, and it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the clouds. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you, and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the clouds, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh upon the earth. So now I want you to understand that he's not saying that man is good because he said he's evil from his youth. So what is he saying? I'm holding the judgment. It's not that he's not going to judge. He's not going to judge with water anymore. So the rainbow says God is holding the judgment. It should be raining. We're not that good, but God is holding the judgment. And every time there's a storm and you go outside and the storm is beginning to clear and you see the rainbow, and sometimes it's a double rainbow, God is putting his promise in the sky that I'm not going to flood the entire earth, and it is made to man and to every living creature that is on the earth, that it will never happen again. And then let's get our last verse, 2 Peter chapter number 2, verse number 5. And God spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. Now, here's the other thing I want you to understand. The rainbow says I'm not going to judge you anymore. But the ark says I do not judge the righteous with the wicked. This is why Noah and his family Noah was the righteous man, the preacher. He does not judge the righteous with the wicked. When Noah enters the ark, it began to rain 7 days after. If one drop of rain hits Noah, it meant that he was judged with the rest of the world. Noah does not come in contact with this water even after the flood. He does not come out of the ark until the earth was dry. If he would have come out of the ark and there was still water and he stepped in it, it still meant he was judged because the water was judgment. But it was only judgment for the ungodly. God does not judge the righteous with the wicked. And that was the other blessing that was hidden in the ark that we didn't automatically see, but that's what God was doing. He was sparing the righteous. And the flood was for the ungodly. And so this is what I want you to get out of this today, that God doesn't judge the righteous with the wicked, and he's holding the judgment. It's never going to flood again, and we are yet assigned to multiply and replenish the earth, and it also changed what we are able to eat. These are the things that came out of the Noahic Covenant. And so, saints, I pray that you were blessed by the Bible study today. And I want to stop time and welcome you back. And the lights are in and the air conditioners are in. You are seeing what you're giving in progress. And so we want you to continue your support, because many hands make a heavy load light, and we are ascending together.
We hope you enjoyed the service today and pray you continue to stream our latest messages. Take a look around. You'll find daily devotionals, Bible studies, kids' global classes, interviews, Spark of Hope, inspirational life lessons, and much more. Only on our official channel, youtube.com/HopeAssemblyAZ.